All right, we're trying to start the car for the first time, and it doesn't do anything when you turn the ignition. Well, the excitement, it's really just here. All right, Dad plugged in the neutral safety switch cable, so we're going to try and crank now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Ready?
Sure.
That's 2,500 RPM. We gotta hold it at this for a little bit. Oh, we're climbing. That's gonna check some stuff outside. I'm gonna watch oil pressure. We're at 50 pounds. So far we're good. There's no noises or anything. About 10 minutes in. Everything's good.
Leaking from my oil pressure T a little bit.
Well, we got a leak at our temporary oil pressure gauge and then a leak at the T on the block, but it ain't bad enough that we're going to turn it off. We got to let this camshaft break in. So far, it's good. I mean, the exhaust is loud because it's not hooked up, but the valve train is way quieter. Remember before it sounded like the 7.3 back there?
All right, so with this one, the only leak we've got is down here. It's just a little bit coming from my oil connection. So is it exciting sitting in here holding the throttle?
My ankle's tired.
How many minutes are we at?
About 15 or 16. I started this like 3 minutes late.
Did you? The temperature staying at 180-ish, huh?
I don't know, wherever that is.
That's
Between
about
C and 8.
That's about 180.
Our oil pressure is coming down because it's getting warm. But it's still at 30.
Yeah, that's still good. That's not smoking at all.
About 20 minutes into the break-in, we're doing good. My calf is starting to lock up. My ankle hurts because I'm just modulating. About $2,000 and 2,700-ish is where I'm trying to keep it. Oil pressure's dropping a little because it's warm now. Coolant temps up a little because it's warm now. But we're still maintaining 30 PSI of oil pressure, which Dad said is great. Everything's going pretty good. It's still quiet as far as the valve train goes. We got about 10 more minutes. All right, it has been 30 minutes. We're gonna let it go to idle, see what it sounds like, and then kill it. It made it. It survived. That exhaust fumes was getting thick in the cab of the car.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's our only oil leak. That's from where the oil pressure gauge is tied into the T over here where this guy goes down.
Yeah, and there's also, yeah, I have the factory idiot light on down there, so I gotta see what's going
I
on.
don't know where it's leaking from, but
It's not coming out of the oil filter, because I thought, well, maybe the oil filter isn't tight. Well, there is this skosh there, but I don't know.
that's good. We got that broke in. So hopefully we're good. Let's go do burnouts. Here is the drain plug, the magnet on it, and there's nothing on it. Dad's got the braking oil draining right now. Look at how clear that is. Hold on, I'm gonna drop you on the pan and you could be submerged in it.
So, it ran. It ran for 30 minutes. Everything sounded good with the comp cams break-in oil. So now we're changing the oil and filter, new Wix filter down there, putting in the Driven BR40 break-in oil for breaking in piston rings. So when we start driving it, we use this to break in the piston rings for about the next 500 miles or so. Then it goes right into Valvoline VR1. So it's sitting here overnight, gonna cool off, go through a complete heat cycle, and we'll fire it up tomorrow and try making it move. Make it be an automobile again. Hopefully this motor will last longer than the other three.
Yeah, hopefully. We're making progress. We're getting a lot of the parts that are just randomly around the shop back on a vehicle, so that's good.
Yeah, it's taking up less space because it's in one piece.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're gonna let it sit. We'll get back to it tomorrow. We're under the car trying to determine where our oil leak is. So we got the oil filter out, but this T right here. So this is the temporary oil pressure gauge, and this is for the dummy light on the dash. See how there's oil right there? So there's not oil above it, but there is oil on this fitting, and there's oil there. So this one may just be running down here, but we're gonna tighten that adapter, tighten that, and then Bob's your uncle. We tightened it up a little bit. Hopefully it's good. And now we're just not gonna look at anything else, because then we don't have to fix anything else if we don't look at it. That's kind of where we're at.
Some timing light. Can't make it work. Okay, what do you have to say, Zach?
It'll idle on its own now at 500. That's 500 RPM.
Wow. That's right about factory.
It didn't. It kept idling weird when we first started it because it wanted to die. So I didn't want to rev it too high, but I kept screwing with it. Now it's
just barely even starting to warm up.
Like 500 RPM maybe.
So what's the volts meter say? Is it charging? I don't know about that. Middle one down there.
14. It doesn't sound like a 7.3 Power Stroke anymore up here. So that's good.
That's a little low.
Checking trans fluid. And then we're probably going to need to go take it for a test drive. That's what I'm thinking. Yep. Been idling for about 10 minutes. Nice and quiet in the engine compartment, which is good. We got 45 pounds oil pressure. It's still cool as we got the fans on blast, but it is just coming off of C on temp, so it may be like 140-ish. The windshield, very dirty. Yeah, very filthy windshield. It's been sitting in the shop for what, 3 months now?
Yeah. So basically I put the motor back in at 17,000 miles. I mean, it's almost...
Yeah, I took a picture when we were breaking it in of the odometer. I don't know if I'd go too far away from the house.
I was just going to go up to the 7-Eleven and maybe top it off with gas.
If you want. That thing's leaking.
Damn it.
It's getting everywhere. gauge is still leaking, which makes me wonder what the one under the car looks like. Go back to the house, look at everything, make sure everything's good. All right, we're gonna go for a test drive, and this is our chase vehicle. So when Dad breaks down, I'm running away from him. That's basically it.
Or you might get a block and then you'll break.
So I'll know that he's broken down, and I'm gonna leave him on the side of the road.
All right.
That's that up there in the AMC wagon. And we're on the road again. That AMC is on the road again. And this V8 66 Mustang, that's not a GT, is on the road again with him. Oh, we're so happy to be on the road again. That's enough of that. All right, the AMC's up to 70. No smoke or anything so far. He thought he was going to get away from me when he took off at that last stop sign. No. So 289, and this was like, nah, you ain't leaving me. We made it like 10 miles. We're doing good. He keeps ripping on it, and it runs good. It's a beautiful day out here. Just seen a pretty nice Chevelle drive by. So everybody's got their toys out. It's like 55, I don't know, it might be 60 degrees out here. It's beautiful. And the EFI on this car is doing pretty good. It's got all the digital readouts there. I don't know why I have RPM on there twice. I have no idea how to change that screen. It just is what it is. We made it to our first destination, the auto parts store.
So am I leaking any oil underneath there? Looking good.
It looks dry, that T-fitting. I don't see any beads of oil on it.
Good.
So that's good. We're gonna go get rid of some oil, and then we gotta go to the house and get the timing light that works, that we think works. I'm gonna pick up some trash and be a nice guy, because this is ridiculous. What a jerk, he just left me at this freaking light. He sped off. Look at him out there. Ran away from me. That's okay, I'll catch him. Let's take a look under the hood of the old Mustang and just make sure, you know, everything looks the way that it should look. Yep. There's an engine in here. Yeah. Everything looks groovy. I mean, I think it's A-OK USA. Oh, there's the O2 sensor cable that's down there. It's dangling not far from the exhaust. I might have to get under there and tie that up. That's going to become a problem. We got Dad's Sears Craftsman timing light from 1985 out to make sure that this car actually has ignition. It also doesn't work. This car doesn't have any ignition, but it runs. Oh, it does. You just gotta pull the trigger.
What if there's a trigger on the other one?
I don't know. I didn't try and pull a trigger on the other one, so maybe we're just dumb. So this car is especially special. The timing mark is on the bottom, and you got to do this to time it.
Kind of looks like it's at 15 degrees.
It's at 15 degrees. We're going to lock it down. That's where we're going to keep it. We got vacuum advance on there. It's right there, and it goes to the carburetor. So we're gonna go back over to my house, and then that's what the current plan is so far. We haven't planned further than that. We're gonna go back to where we came from. Most excitement I've ever seen out of Dad test driving a car. We just hit 90 allegedly. We took it for a test drive, as you just seen, a whole 25 miles? Maybe 30 miles?
I think it's closer to 30.
And it made it back. We didn't even break down or anything. And we fixed the leaks on the temporary thing because it's not leaking anymore. Anyways, now Dad's got to put another, what, 470 miles on it before you change oil again? Break the piston rings in?
Yep. And I was doing some uneven driving. I was accelerating hard, deaccelerating, and that kind of stuff on our drive. So did it smoke at all or anything from behind?
It smells new.
Does it?
Yeah. You get that kind of exhaust aroma of a new engine smell. Mm-hmm. So but I was having fun keeping up with you on that. That thing's pretty peppy with the sniper kit on it. It goes.
Yeah.
It had no problem getting up to 90.
Yeah, I think Grandpa put a little bit of a cam and did a few things when he rebuilt that because it runs better than it should.
Yeah, that sucker rips. But all right, that's the end of this video. The next video of this car may be a road trip. Maybe when we get Mike's black truck back, we can take it out on a road trip. Just maybe a short one. A Saturday trip.
Sounds fun.